Well, hello, sports fans. Well, we're going to take a little ride today. We're going to go down to St. Petersburg. This town is one of the fastest growing towns in America and held that designation for a few years. Oh, look at them pedaling there. And what you're going to see here, this was the old part of town, and it's really building up. The amount of apartments and condos, the number of units that have been added are in the thousands. This is a new district that's really come alive in the last few years, and this town has grown in the last 6-7 years. It's just more construction after construction down here, and more condos and more apartments. Very expensive stuff too, by the way. But this is Central Avenue, and avenues run north or east and west, and we're heading east towards downtown St. Pete, where it all starts. And then it runs west. Central Avenue runs west all the way out to the Gulf of Mexico. So one end to the other here. And this is the main drag, this main street. This is where it's happening. And until this month, once a month they held First Friday, or last Friday or something like that, where they would rope off part of the Central Avenue, have bands in and the whole works. Get pretty large crowds down here. But as it is now, if you go down here, you're going to see pretty good sized crowds along the streets. This building you see at the right going up there is going to be the tallest structure in St. Petersburg. And what do you think it is? Well, of course, it's condos. This is that part that they rope off for third Friday or fourth Friday or whatever Friday it is, once a month. I've never been down here. I have to try it sometime. Now, South Florida University's got a campus here, right in St. Pete here, just to the south, this direction. They got a lot going on down here by the water, and things are roped off and blocked off, so we get down there, but we can't. You can't go but about a block or two, and you're going to have to come back. We're going here by. The airport's on the right. It's a very small airport, and on the left is the Dali, Salvador Dali's museum, and that is downtown St. Pete right ahead of us. That's the old ballpark there, which is now the Rowdies play there, soccer, and there it's roped off down by the water again. So we're back on Central Avenue. This time we're heading west, but we're going to drive around a little bit. This trip has been very interesting, as you know. Flight down here was delayed 4 hours. That made it a little bit difficult, but you know, those things happen. There's that building again on the left. But the trips has had its problems. Got here in my washer and dryer. Well, the washer's working, but the dryer's not. Refrigerator, well, it conked out last year and we got it going, but it's not cooling really as cold as it should be. Grass is all burned up. That's because of the flood, and the salt water got it and ate it all up. So we got to make a decision what we're going to do about that one. Well, we're back out on the beaches now. And Indian Rocks, Indian Shores. Intercoastal Waterway there on the left. The Gulf of Mexico's off to the right. Condos. Apartments. If you're lucky and got some money, you can rent down here. Well, back home. And, well, let's leave again. Well, where is he going now? Well, by golly, we got a 4 o'clock show at the dinner theater. Early Bird Dinner Theater, one of our favorite places. I like to go to a show here once to 3 times a year. The fabulous Susan works here. You don't know that, did you? Well, I did. This is the the bar area, believe it or not. But they house several things in here besides the theater. There's places you can rent, halls, different halls for different events, weddings, and so forth. And this bar room area is decorated for Christmas. That hallway shows you there. Off to the left is a big ballroom, and this is the bar room. That crowd noise would be from the theater. Remember, it is a dinner theater. Oh. Ben's got Boston cream pie and a bottle of wine. Imagine it. And we're going to see Making God Laugh. And there we're going to get some dinner. During the show. After the show, back home. Now let's go out again. Well, evening time. Largo, Florida. And this is Largo Park. Quite an eventful evening, but then, of course, this whole trip has been eventful. So why not have some more events? Fire, you can roast your marshmallows, s'mores, ride the Ferris wheel. That's a pretty good size one too, by the way. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Now this is a Monday night, and it's busy, but not real busy. Very tolerable. Well, folks, there's one of those concession stands where you can get, you can get everything from hot dogs, s'mores, marshmallows, hot cocoa, fresh donuts baked right there on site as you order them. Yep, very good. Now I gotta tell you, old Ben did have a problem here. Of course, what would this particular trip be anyway, without Ben having another problem? Well, let's see, I've had dryer go out, icebox acting up. Oh, I don't know. A few other things here and there, grass burned up. Anyway, so I'm here at this park, and I got me some hot chocolate and some fresh baked donuts. Oh, they were good. And I sit down. Well, I got up, and I walked around and finished the tour of the park. which I'm showing you here. And then I got in the car and I drove back to the house in Madera Beach. Got back, got out of the car, felt around. Whoops, no phone. Must have dropped it in the car. Searched the car. Nope. Jump in the car, back to Largo I go. Just barely breaking the speed limit, I might add, maybe just 10, 15 over. So I got back to the park, looked up a cop I'd met. He said nope, he hadn't heard a thing. Nobody's turned anything into him, but he suggested I talk to the park people. He showed me which direction they were at. I went and talked to them. Very, very helpful. Largo Park people bent over backwards. You're going to find a phone, or it'll probably be turned in. They get a lot of that kind of stuff here. Well, I went and talked to all the vendors. Nobody's turned in anything. Of course, I'm calling the phone. You know, we're calling the phone right and left, and no answer. So the stalker, who happened to be there, imagine that, called back to South Bend, talked to my daughter. And while she's talking to her, my daughter got out an extra cell phone and called me. And by golly, she got a hold of somebody. So he told me told her where he was at. She told us where he was at. I went over there, and by golly, this guy had my cell phone. Oh my, Ben would sleep tonight. But that's par for this trip. You kind of wonder, what's next? So I get back. I photo print up my Allegiant ticket for my flight back, and it won't print. I got a call. Now, you know, if you ever call Allegiant, you know that's could be a half hour, could be an hour. I finally got a hold of somebody. Yeah, there was a mistake on the date of birth and blah, 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 and they had to issue new tickets, and they did. And I printed those tickets up, and I looked at them, and they changed my seat. I paid extra for leg room in the front of the plane, and I went clear in the back of the plane. So I called another 40 minutes, finally got a hold of a guy who explained to me that it was all my fault. Well, I'm at the back of the plane, so par for the course, right? Of course, that's Allegiant, that type of stuff. All the time. But so be it. Now we'll see what else goes wrong, because I'm not back in South Bend yet, folks. There it is, the stalker. I knew it. Beautiful park. Nice night, probably 60, low 60s, 62, something like that. No wind. Very, very comfortable. When you're walking, you actually will work up a little of a sweat. But when you sit down after a while, it'll start to get chilled. There's a train track, miniature trains like this, that does give train rides occasionally, and that runs all over the park. Sounds like they're coming to get Santa. Maybe for indecent exposure. That's the moon up there that you see. We had a full moon, big, shining through the trees. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, why not do so? Doesn't cost you a thing. Helps me out with Facebook. Makes me look a little better. These statues are all over the park, and they're mostly kids. And you can sure hear the kids. But these kids were pretty well behaved. The guy that had my phone, and there's the donut man. The guy that had my phone said one of the kids had found it under the table, probably when it was ringing. And there's the table I was sitting at. There's a drink I was having. And when yours truly stood up, I guess the cell phone didn't. So we're back home. See you folks down the road. $10 flight. Will he make it? That's the question. Stay tuned. You'll find out next week. St. Peter National Airport. Small airport. A little bigger than the one in South Bend. Been completely remodeled here lately. Of course, their remodeling down here only took them maybe 6-7 years. And they remodeled the airport and all the parking and rental car services and everything. Really, really nice. But even after all that and all that time, a lot of Allegiant flights, you end up parked out on the tarmac somewhere, and you unload the plane and you have to walk into the terminal. Now that's not that bad a deal, unless it's raining like crazy. There you go. Time to remodel again. See you folks down the road.